All right, welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're a Jeep owner, you know that little feeling when a light pops up on the dash. Today, we're tackling a specific one, error code C2212. Let's figure out what your Jeep is trying to say.
So there it is, that dashboard light just staring you down. When it flashes code C2212, it's easy to feel a little lost. But don't worry, we're going to break down exactly what your vehicle is trying to tell you.
Okay, so what is C222? The official name is ECU Imprint Mode Active. Now, that sounds like a bunch of technical jargon, right? Well, let's put it this way. Your Jeep's brain, its main computer, basically thinks it's still back at the factory being built. It's stuck in this special assembly line mode. And, well, that's definitely not what you want when you're out on the road.
So, why is your Jeep having this identity crisis? Why does it think it's still on the factory floor? It really boils down to four main possibilities that we need to investigate. And here they are, laid out for you. We're looking at everything from a simple software glitch to some more serious hardware issues. As you can see, the solutions range from pretty straightforward to, well, a bit more involved. Let's dig into each one, shall we? All right, cause number one. And here's the good news. The simplest and often most common cause is just faulty software. Yep, sometimes the programming that runs everything is just out of date. And the fix for that, you guessed it, a software update. But, and this is a big but, you have to get the right update directly from the manufacturer, and you've got to follow those instructions to the letter. The last thing you want is to accidentally create a whole new set of problems, right? Okay, so what if the software is fine? Well, our second suspect is the wiring for the ACC module. That's your adaptive cruise control, the system that keeps you at a safe distance from the car ahead on the highway. The physical connections themselves could be the problem here. So for this one, you might have to get your hands a little dirty. It's all about a physical inspection. You're going to look for any damaged wires, make sure every single connection is snug and tight, and check for any rust or corrosion. If you find anything that looks off, it needs to be repaired or maybe even replaced. So we've checked the software, we've checked the wires. What's next? Well, sometimes the adaptive cruise control module itself is the culprit. The little computer that runs your cruise control can just fail. And when it does, it can get permanently locked in that in-plant mode we talked about. And unfortunately, if the module itself is toast, there's really only one fix, a full replacement. Now, this is definitely not a weekend project for your garage. A professional needs to swap out the part, and then, this is crucial, they have to recalibrate the entire system to get it working with the new module. And let's be real for a second. As this quote points out, this is a pretty expensive repair. It's not just the cost of the module itself, you're also paying for that specialized labor to get everything perfectly recalibrated. It's a big job. Okay, on to our fourth and final possibility. And this is kind of the big one. We're talking about a problem with the brain of the whole operation, your Jeep's main computer, also known as the Engine Control Unit, or ECU. And just like with the ACC module, if the ECU is defective, it has to be completely replaced. And again, this is absolutely a job for a qualified tech. They'll install the new one and then have to recalibrate everything to make sure all the systems are talking to each other correctly. It's another complex and, expensive fix. Phew! Okay, so those are the four main culprits. Now that we know what we're up against, what do you actually do about it? Let's build your action plan. Here's your roadmap to get this sorted out. Think of it like a ladder. You start on the bottom rung. Step 1, start simple. Look into that software update first because it's the easiest potential fix. Step 2, get a little hands-on. Check out that ACC wiring and all the connections. If neither of those things works, it's time for step 3. Call in the pros. At that point, you're likely looking at a bad module or ECU. And step 4, probably the most important of all, don't just ignore the light. Act on it. So there you have it. You're not in the dark anymore about code C2212. You know all the possibilities, from the simple to the serious. So the only question left is, what's your first step going to be to get that light off and get back on the road with total confidence?